great panelist conversation is like a well-cooked meal. It's satisfying, it's balanced, and leaves you hungry for more. And today, I have a buffet of that. My name is Fortunate Sibande, your host, and in this episode, we are serving you a flavorful blend of conversations from our esteemed panelists. Let me repeat that again, esteemed panelists. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much.
I'm so excited to have all of you here.
I'm so happy to be here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so without further ado, let's start with the introductions. I'm going to start with the man next to me.
All right, so this man right here, Ofentse Pitso, but my dad said the other name would be Pleasure. So, le plaisir.
I have a bit of a problem, yabo.
Okay.
Ladies first, but then it's okay. You know, if it's a patriarchy society, it's okay. It's okay. My name is Zanele Malaza, and that's how I usually introduce myself. Wagwa Malaza.
All right, so my name is Lebohang Caroline. I don't like the name, but I'll include it because you have a good ID, right? So my name is Lebohang Caroline, and the surname is Molapo.
Okay, lovely. Tell us a little bit about your backgrounds. So let's start with Lebo this time around. Okay.
I'm sure what next means. Who's Zanele complaining, right? Anyway, Lebohang Caroline Molapo. As one person who comes from a loving family, a supportive family, I'm more close with the family from my mother's side. However, it's one family that is so small but strong. We build one another. So I'm a person that I am today because of the teachings that I've got from that family. You know, I'm a goal-driven. I've achieved a lot because of them. And I feel like I owe myself to the Molapos. So that is Lebohang Caroline Molapo, a lady that is very goal-driven. That's me in short.
Lovely. We'll bring it back to you, Kamalaza.
You know that question sounds it sounds easy. Layer background, trust me, it sounds easy, but it's a bit complex when you think about, because you it's Martin. It's not all of the time where you get a chance to reflect back and think, who are you, you know, what have you achieved in life? And I think as Zanele Malaza, I really don't know what to say, but my background is not that interesting. However, I'm just a girl who was raised by both parents, and unfortunately at the age of 18 I lost my mom. And I think losing her was a blessing in disguise, because sometimes when you go through pain, you think things are not going to work out in life. However, with her passing, it created something in me. It sparked growth in me. It sparked passion in me. I think I am where I am today because of certain things that happened in my past that pushed me to become Zanele Wagwa Malaza, and that's how I'm able to introduce myself proudly and saying Wagwa Malaza.
No, thank you, Zanele.
Sure.
Oh, well, I'm from the West End. I come from a family of 6 kids, so I'm the only boy.
Wow.
So you can imagine, you know, having 5 women and me being the king in the house. So you can imagine that whole environment, mama this, mama that, mama this, mama. Well, understand? So my upbringing would be a very wonderful one. I come from a very lovely home with a very wonderful grandmother. And then my dad is a pastor, by the way. And
PKK.
Yeah, so I grew up in a very God-fearing home, you know. People there, we used to, I don't know if La Hopola, we had these stove samalata. I don't know what we call it in English, but those big stoves that we used to have during apartheid, you know. So stove, that's when a church started in my house. Because of now, you'll have a grandmother who's there, who's praying for each and every child, who's having conversations. And the wonderful part about it that people don't know is that my mom, before Atabalin, my granny dreamt, I was pregnant, and the name that came in that version was Ofentse. So basically, which are twins.
Sure.
So my mom's sister is also pregnant, and my mom also was pregnant. So I came first, which is Ofentse, and the other one is Obagain. So all this was a blessing because of now having to be named before you were born is such a wonderful space because of. But what they would see things that no man would see now, right? So I come from a very good home here. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Guys, thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Those
No
are really
problem.
inspiring backgrounds.
Thank you.
Also inspiring that young person, Osekai.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you guys got involved with AYDF. We know you guys are wearing so many other hats.
Yes.
Let's get into that a little bit. Zanele, let me start with you.
Okay, so how I got involved with AYDF, I come from an NPO, so where I live, there's an NPO that I was working with. Nakona, maybe a brief background on how I got hired there. This girl meets us at Stratton. I'm fresh out of high school, and we did not know what to do with this friend of mine, and we just didn't know what to do. And she comes, we're standing outside, I think, you know what, bafuna bandaba papayo la paya. I'm like, hey, bafuna bandaba papayo. Okay, let me go try my luck.
Yeah.
I apply, I get, we go for an interview, and then I think we were not called up until a month later.
Wow.
Then I started working in June. I think my months, June, 6 months, like it's a blessing. For me, it's a blessing.
Oh, yeah.
The month of June is a blessing because I was also born in June.
Wow.
So whatever things, great things that came in my life, these are more June. And you'll get to hear why I say that.
Can't wait.
So get the job, start working. AYDF trains us for the first time. Remember when I was hired, it was in June, and that's when they were conducting their trainings. So that was my first encounter with AYDF. Oh, for me, I was like looking at these trainers, Abon Kuli, Abon Jabulo, Abon Natasha, and they're facilitating there in front, and I'm like, yay, these people are massive.
These people are giants.
These people are giants. How do they get to the point of
Sure.
speaking in such a way, you know?
Yeah.
Because we did get in-house training. However, when I got to a training space, I was like, what? This is amazing. Seeing them facilitate, work through it, I was like, yo, I ain't talent. You see? And then they started recruiting, and they recruited me to AYDF. And I said, hey, imali ngakanani? And I said, ayikho imali la ngizi mina. And I said, I'm not making an AYDF mina, you know? And then years later, I decided, before COVID actually, I decided, you know what, I need to grow. I think one thing that chased me away from AYDF, so one thing that made me run away was Uksebenz. But then I put that aside and I said, you know what, I need to grow. Now it's time for me to grow. I took the job. When I took the job in December. When in June. When I tell you that good things come to me in June. In June, I got called in, and then I had a virtual interview with Mr. Nkululeko Mkhwanazi, and I got the job. And since then, it has been just growth upon growth upon growth. And yeah, that's me and my journey at AYDF.
Oh, that's lovely. And just to sidetrack a little bit, tell us about, what you were hired as firstly, initially, and what you are now.
Unabosis Maria.
Sharp, ne?
What we are
Okay, so I was hired as a Moja administrator as well as area coordinator.
Oh, wow.
So when I started in June, I pushed, I really worked hard, and it did not feel like I was working hard. It felt like I'm doing the right thing. I did not feel pressured. I just kept on pushing. And those who know Umesadi, Mesadi Malinga, yeah, they know that woman will give you tasks for days. You would 3 o'clock Excel, you would wake up. Uti, is this woman not sleeping? There's tons of messages, and she's giving you tasks for the day. That this is what I need to do. And then at the end of the day, Excel, you'll come into work. You're thinking, she's not coming. She would come to work. And then she'd give you more tasks. So for me, that's how I started. And then 6 months down the line, from that very same year, I was promoted to being an AYDF trainer. By the way, that department did not exist. So we opened. Natasha usually says, sometimes there is no door, however, we open the doors. So we came in C6, and we were part of E6 that were going through a trial run, Yogubama trainer. And 4 of us, one being Lebo, who's right next to me, and we made it as part of the top 4. We called each other the Fantastic 4. And I was promoted to being a trainer in 2020. Remember, in June, 2020, December 2020, I got promoted as a trainer.
Oh, now there's a new month.
You see, it's 6 months. It's 6 months. Sure. So these are blessings. And then I carried on being a trainer, and then around, I think, 2021. I was promoted again as a master trainer, and that is what I'm currently doing at AYDF. I design the trainings to see how, and also I develop a company as a whole. So I'm still I'm in a journey of discovering my passion, my purpose, and also the position that I'm in. So I'm not 100% in, but I'm definitely in, because some trainings that were the first trainings that were conducted last year, along with the team. However, the brains and the behind it all, you know, having to go to our party and say, this is what I've prepared, and then they come back and say, okay, this is good. Fix lanala.
That is
so,
such a lovely one.
Yeah.
That is such a lovely one. Lebo, tell us a little bit about how you first got involved.
Hey, so for me, I started working at the same NPO that she worked for in 2016. I remember joining the NPO. I was coming from a depression cases. So I was just there for the sake of a stipend, because now I had a little child, you know. So I needed some moolah. I remember I was earning wampo. We call it wampo, so that's what 1,250, right? And I went there 2016, 2017, and I was earning 1,250.
Sure.
However, with that money, remember I said I come from a loving family. So I was mentored by my aunt, right, to say, Leb, you know what, you are earning a stipend. However, you had dreams before coming to AYDF. You wanted to be a teacher, and what is your plan? I'm like, I don't have plans, right? I have umtana manja. I don't have any plans. You're like, you know what? You're going to register with Unisa. And from that 1,250, you're going to take 500, pay towards your feet. The other 500, you're going to renovate the house. And I'm like, hey, young Joyela, 1.2. But anyway, yeah, I did that 2016, 2017, and 2018. I remember there was a post here, area coordinated AYDF. Hey, the organization that we're coming from, as coaches, we used to say, AYDF, Lapaya. There's no money and there's a lot of work, right? I remember being skeptical about me coming to the organization. And I'm like, I'm not going there. I got a call from Unkuli, invited me to an interview. Before the interview, and night before interview, I called this lady right here. She was my coordinator, by the way. And I'm like, hey, Zanele, I got a call from AYDF, you know? And I'm a bit skeptical about going there. I don't want to go there. And Zanele was like, what is your heart saying? And I'm like, yeah, phone, but at the same time, I don't want to go there. And she was like, you know what, Lebo? You don't know what God has planned for you. Just follow your heart and go to AYDF. I came AYDF, it was March 2018. Before I left, these were the words I left her with. I said, Zanele, I'm going to AYDF to test the waters. Please don't hire anyone in my position, because Mina, I'm going there to test what's going on. If Kashisa, I'm coming back. And I'm like, anyway, to make things easy for you, I'm going to find someone who's going to come into my place, so that when I come back from AYDF, I'm like, you know what, please go back. And they were like, okay. And I went and find my cousin, you know. I was like, Kazi, please hold the space for me just a bit, just for this month. I'm coming back. I'm just going to test the waters. And today, when I count my blessings, I count AYDF top 3 of my blessings. I'm like, God, I'll be forever be grateful to be part of the organization, right? Mr. Zanu once said, there's no way that you'll collide with AYDF and remain the same person, you know? So 2018, I tested the waters, And I'm like, yes, I'm not going back to that NPO, not because it isn't as wrong, no. I also grew as an individual. I was able to pay fees. I was able to renovate the house with that stipend. So I think it was a gateway for me at the organization to be AYDF. I got to AYDF 2018 and I'm like, I'm not going back. And I'm like, Kazi, you can keep the job. Zanele, you can replace if you want to replace. I'm not coming back. I'm here to stay. From 2018, ever since I've collided with this organization, I'll be forever grateful. You know, I came in as an area coordinator. Very shy, very skinny, you know, siswama katinyana, kromnyana. However, today you're not just speaking to an area coordinator, Pella. I'm a trainer, as Zanele has said, accredited one, just to be clear. I'm an accredited facilitator, you know. Not only that, you are speaking to a manager, yes, civic education program, you know. In my school days, I never liked the history, you know. I was like, those who are doing history, I'm going to accounting stream, right? However, today I'm managing a civic education program, and I'm now realizing the importance of our learners or our children out there to learn about history at an early age, you know. How I wish maybe civic education can be part of the subjects like your maths and science, also be part of the subjects, because, there's a lot that I'm learning, you know. There's a lot that I'm learning through the program, and there's a lot that I've acquired ever since I've been here.
And we want to get into the things that you've acquired from being there. We want to, because we want to get the meat, you know, of your whole experience. Now let's move on to Mr. Ofentse.
Right.
You know, what is the relationship that you've had with AYDF?
Okay, so with me, I come from the arts sector. So one day we were preparing a show that was going to State Theatre. So this one lady that we were working with was invited by a friend to Westview Clinic. Say, we're looking for energetic people, like the same as to say, Papa. So now this lady, she's like, Mata, how about understand? I'm like, yeah, let's just go try. And now I can go Westview. I found them, but the posts were already closed. And then like I think, no. So wait, so can the supervisor again? No, you don't do that. So this lady anka my things, and immediately right there on the spot, she's like, oh na, kopa otle kausan. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So I get them. There's a panel by the interviews and all that. Out of I think 20 people, there were only 3 of us who were taken. Especially 3 of us. The same people came late. You understand? And so how do I come to know AYDF? It's because of they're doing indoor trainings and most of about Moja and all that, right? And so now on my first instance of working as a coach, I then went for the trainings, which were conducted by them. Oh, such a wonderful lady. You know, Narata is a wonderful person. You see her with Kutanibahai and all that. But they normally say that, but that warmth, spirit around them, you know, that makes people want to fall in love with something. And then I fell in love with Moja because of the way it is done. Because of now, if Kerato Gua Holo, that means that I'm gonna get this one job that makes me even a bigger speaker in this whole program. So when I got to AYDF, it was the trainings, and I was so bubbly, you know, because of I had answers for days, and I had ways to say I want to improve myself, especially because I come from a space where I was portraying a certain piece to people, and people were clapping hands. But now this is a manner in which I can speak to somebody, and somebody can listen to me. So that's how I got to know about AYDF and what they do. And today, man, from the rest of Western people, man, me having to be here, it's a blessing because of it's not everybody who gets to be selected to say come for the podcast. Hey, Ofentse, are you available for days and all that? That shows you the potential that AYDF sees in people. Because of I feel like this institute is very wonderful. It's on a mountain top, especially with the kind of system that they run within the space out. can we locate people who are good? Can we locate people who want to spread out their potential abilities out there? So then I'm one of those people who was fortunate enough to say, AYDF has spotted me. It's just that now I'm still busy, but I would like to be part of the team. And that time is coming then. But this is a wonderful organization. Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
Speaking of Moja, you know, like let's talk about the program itself. You know,
Yeah.
where do you fit in that program, and what are some of your roles? Lebo?
All right, so I started as a coach. So by coach, as we would go around the community that we are based in and implement the Moja program to the learners in the school and the youth out of school in that community, right? So Moja, it's a program, it's a substance abuse prevention program that is owned by the Department of Social Development. However, they have partnered with us as AYDF. So our role as AYDF is to make sure that the program is being implemented, it is effective, it is monitored, and we are able to support all the NPOs that are implementing this program, right? So that's where I started with Moja. However, now because I'm now in the AYDF space, I'm now responsible for monitoring the support, monitoring the program, to make sure that it's being implemented effectively. So as an area coordinator, one of the roles that I'm playing in the organization, I have NPOs that I'm responsible for. So we have 5 regions and area coordinators are deployed in all these regions. So my region is Johannesburg. I have sites, NPOs that I'm responsible for. So I go there monthly to make sure that I observe the program. I train the people that are implementing the program, and I also support them. If they need support, I'm there to support. So we're not Babis and Amapos with program or the spiders, but we are there to assist one another to make sure that the objectives of the program are met.
Sure. Zanele, what do you think sets the Moja program apart? Because we know that there's a number of substance abuse prevention programs, but what is it about this one, Moja?
You know, Moja, we say that it's a substance abuse prevention program.
Sure.
And usually when you go to schools, I know this because I've been a coach before I started as a coach. But give much money drugs. Even the principal, give much money drugs. And we're not just there about drugs, you know. We are not there passing a message about drugs. But we are there to sort of make you aware, Wuti, this is the type of person you are. There's potential in you. You understand? You look at Emmanuel 1 in the Moja program, which is a personal shield. They say it's a boundary breaking session where you as an Zanele, I sit down. There's a shield that is drawn in there, right? The slogan from that, or the quote from that manual says, if you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. Which means you are responsible for the way you think. You are responsible for the way you do things, your beliefs, everything. You are the one who is responsible, and you have power over everything. That is if you look at the meaning, yalo quote, if you go through the meaning, the truth of the gospel behind it, you find you find Wutina, so on its own it's powerful, and then you get into the shield, and it first says 3 important values. Then it says 3 people whom you admire, which is the second quadrant. The third one says 3 things I'm good at. The fourth one says, what are the turning points in my life? Turning points being things that happened in your life that changed you, whether good or bad. But in those turning points, what good came of it? Because it's easy to say, I lost my mom when I was 18. And then what? I lost my mom, it was motivation for me. I am who I am because I knew Nguti Angsana Mama. So I have no one to cry to. So it made me a better person. Then the 5th quadrant says, where do I see myself in 10 years' time? And when you get into, I'm just speaking about that one, E1, that's how it sets us different from, because yes, we are doing substance abuse, but as an individual, in order for someone to get into drugs, what causes it? It's because umuntu akazazi ukuthi yena ungubani. So when you get to know your values, when you get to know the people whom you admire, if I say I admire my mom, what did my mom stand for?
That I'm admiring.
Yes. Sure. So what she stands for, I need to stand for. what am I good at? What are my talents? When you when you asked us the first question, Guti background, where do you come from? I said it's an easy question. It's like what are you good at? It looks like an easy question.
Yeah, it does,
But when you really sit down and you think about it, what am I good at? And you dig deep down inside, you figure out, hey man, I'm really good at speaking.
Yeah.
I'm really good at cooking. It means I can be a chef. It means it just opens endless possibilities. So that's why you need a program. So when you get to know yourself, you go to the second module where it speaks of setting goals. Now that you know yourself, now you need to set goals. Where do you see yourself? Remember, in that quadrant, you said in 10 years' time, I want to be. So the second module comes and says, discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishments. How do you get there?
Wow. Sure.
So, so you understand. And then, after, like 3 modules after, on the 4th one, that's when we come in with information drugs. Because you know who you are. The third module speaks of eat well, live well. So now, because you've set goals for yourself, you need to be healthy.
Exactly.
So we have a module that says it's amazing how you can dig your own grave with a fork and knife. You need to know what to eat in order for you to survive, so that you can see yourself in that 10 years' time that you mentioned module 1.
Sure. What an impactful program.
It is.
I mean, what are some of the challenges that you have gone through that you can attest to in the program?
I think sometimes it's the level in which, because people do not only need words, you understand? They need moral support.
Sure.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like sometimes what we do, it's so complex, because at some stage, look at me having to come to somebody who's into drugs because of family issues, right? And then our channeling within us, speaking within the space of and all that, high school, colleges, varsities and all that, right? Where do we then have a cage within the space of within, or baba tuling out of whatever that you have said to them, and they come in front and say, hey, my brother, my sister, this is me, and this is what I've been doing. Whatever that you've been saying, that is the honest truth that I can tell you right now. Drugs or and all that. The first thing we do, we take them to rehab and all that, right? The challenge within the space is the consistency. Because of sometimes you come and then you have a referral in their lives, because of now, you need to understand the program, it doesn't only speak to the physical man, it also speak to the inside man.
Yes.
Because of now, if we cannot take care of the inside man, we can't necessarily take care of the outside man. Because of now, the more we talk about the outside man, we'll continuously expect the outside man to be perfect. But the inner man inside of us will forever be polluted, because of the first thing that you need to change is this thing, the mindset. The mind goes toward the soul. And once the soul is clean, then the outside man will be clean. So now the challenge is for us now cleaning the inside man. Because of the physical part of it is that we are going, we're engaging, we are talking, we are doing all this, ching ching chom chom. Everybody knows all of these things, chant and all that. They're accepting, one understand that. But now we need to take care of the inner man, because of now the inner man needs a consistent checkup. Because of if we continuously do the same program, it's the same thing that I normally say to people. Let us not push experience, let's push the love. Because of love conquers all. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is one of the challenges. Not consistently helping the inner man, rather than helping the outside man, because we'll continuously do the same thing over and over again. We'll be like pigs, we clean you today, tomorrow you are back again. Do you get what I'm saying? So now that's one of the challenges. I think the background of kids and the background of the whole community. Moja has to have that sense where we do house visits. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Every person that we have reached and all that, we get there. We show them moral support, which is something that is needed. Sometimes people are like, most of our program runs for a specific time frame. The next thing we come after 6 months, do you get what I'm saying? So now all that, because of tomorrow it's me, tomorrow it's another person, because the things that you say are more powerful when you say them. The things that I come with, they are more powerful when I say them. But when you touch somebody, doesn't mean that negative feelings and because of now, whatever that you're using as a mechanism to make that person change their mindset will forever work for you. Do you get what I'm saying? So
So if we can be objective enough, guys, really objective, are we seeing the change in the communities Maybe let's start with you, Lebo. And what is the change? How far is the change going?
Firstly, I would say if the program was able to change me as Ulebu, and then I'm 100% sure that it's making change in the community. When I joined the program, I was, you know, when they say this person has given up on their dreams, they are living for the sake of living. And I went to the training, and in that training, a personal shield was done, a module on personal shield, a module on set goals. Those two modules changed my mindset, right? They kind of reminded me of Lebo. This is Lebohang Molapo. You were not born for this shame life. No, you have goals that you need to achieve. This is not you, right? You having a child at a young age and then giving up, that is not you. And from that day, my life changed for the better. So I've worked with children at school as a coach. I'm still engaging with the community even when I'm here at AYDF. And I am seeing the impact through the program. We have worked with school through the program, which is called Ihiltai, which is Healthy Living Through Academic Excellence. We went to school where learners achieve 40% and they are proud of that. We went there as coaches, as Ihiltai facilitators. We implemented the Moja program and the Ihiltai program in those schools. And I'm telling you, just the other day we were reviewing the results of the learners. They are now getting 75% and above. So I am confident in saying the program is making change. You know, one of the principles of the program on its own, it says effective and efficiency. This program, its principle, one of the principles, it says it is effective and efficient. So there's no way you can go through the Moja program as purple and come out as purple. So if you came in as purple, I'm definitely sure that you're going to come out as yellow or pink and be bright. So there's no way uzongena kule program and come out the same person. In my church, bathi aliyehli libuye lingayenzanga umsebenzi. So there's no way the program, you'll receive it or be implemented to you and then you remain the same person. So the program is definitely changing lives. We are changing lives. Maybe we may not see that but in the future, it is making a change. And statistics are proving.
I'm going to see an asectin, right? I'll keep on referring back to being a coach, you know. That's where you really see the impact. If you are given classes, the first thing that we do, the kids write a pre-test, right? So the first one, when I started, we had what we call SES, self-esteem test, right? So when they did the SES, when they started doing it, the first one, and then the other one is called MKT, which is module knowledge test, right? So what do you know about the program? Questions on the manuals that we are about to give them. Then you would get to see with Ashem, they don't know Moja program, even the self-esteem. You implement the program. When you are done your program, they write a post-test, which means the very same test that they wrote at the beginning, they are now writing at the end. And I tell you, the results are amazing. You get to see right there in the Uguti, I made the impact. And as someone who really did it, who really went into these classes, and you see it, I'm telling you, I used to smile because on my test, I would take certain tests back home, and at the back of the test, you'd find a learner who wrote a note and saying, thank you so much, this has been impactful. Getting that.
Speaking of the impact, I'm looking at like this week alone. So I meet this boy. So this boy says to me, Hotman, you know, I failed grade 10 3 times before I met you. And I'm like, 3 times? He's like, oh, no, yeah, I failed 3 times. And this boy is with the mother. He said, Mom. And you see, now let's look at the impact both sides, from your side to our side, to the learner's side. It brings you dignity. So this family is like, Minier, thank you so much. So you completed, because sometimes we don't know how many kids we reach out to get what I'm saying. So now this boy is like, I got a bachelor. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, congrats. Because you know one thing that we do, that I personally do, is to be selfless, man. Do you get what I'm saying? This program needs selfless people. You get to school, you see, do you know, and you can tell, because of now, we need sensors within us, which is a discerning spirit within yourself to say, how should I can enter a room right now, and all that. My senses must tell me to say I shouldn't say anything negative to anybody. Because if somebody will think I stepped on their toe. That's why I'm most in environmental and all that, because of how can you discern. I'll lash out and the next thing tomorrow I can sorry. So now the discerning side and the discerning spirit, even when you're looking at kids, you need to know how you channel this program into touching their lives beyond what you're talking about. So this boy is like, I failed 3 times. You know, that woman came and hugged me. I'm like, Ma, you know what? I'm so grateful. I may not have done this to 100 kids, but as long as this boy still remembers me, do you get what I'm saying? As long as you still remember me, go be the best, my guy. Go be the best, because of the only thing that these kids need is to be bedding. So that bell thing, yes, remind them. There's a bell in their heart that says, remember where you come from. Offense. I'm a winner. I remember in their class, I used to say that, what's your name? 2, 3 people that you have touched. Imagine I come about to be 5, I come about to be 10. If they were to come, my sister, the whole government, the whole South Africa would know how much this program is doing to kids' life. Won't understand of it. So all that, it's very difficult for us to be working together and making sure that we change a community within ourselves.
And I think also how the principle itself, they create this program to be a fun program, you know, because you are now able to connect with me as Lebo. You know, we implement the program. We are not all about The more we impact your life, we also have fun at the same time. So
I can't believe I did that.
hey.
One thing about the Kimoja program, you go back to being a child.
Exactly.
I want a chance.
This program does not want abomkeku. Once you start being umkeku in the program, you will not enjoy and you will not love it. I have a lot of siblings, young ones, and each and everything that I do, my training, you know, if I do 2 claps and laugh or 2 claps and a woo, you know, I do it with them. There's this thing we normally do. We say, mosquito, catch it. We do it with the kids. They love it, you know. So for me, it's more anything and everything that I learn in the Kimoja program, I take it back home and I teach my kids. So endly, you know, we are doing, when we have to do Kimoja, we have to do Kimoja. You know, it's guning. You know, that's why you need to be a child. Kimoja, if you're gonna be matured,
it's not
trust me, you are going to find yourself in a situation where you can never tell school, you understand, because you don't understand. This is a kid.
I think I'm going to speak about the things that also built me as Lebo, and of which I've learned through the program as well, right? So the first one being, if you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self, right? A lot of young ones have failed in life because they allowed self to conquer them, you know? They have big dreams that they want to achieve, but then they self-sabotage them, you know? They doubt themselves, you know? They think less of themselves, and then they end up not achieving those goals or those dreams they have because of them allowing self to conquer them, right? So I would say, if you do not conquer self, you will be conquered by self. And lastly, it would be the slogan that I love, which is discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Zanele recited the slogan earlier. Uguti, youth out there, children out there, even parents, anyone out there, if you want to achieve things in life, you need to be disciplined. Without discipline, there's no way you're going to achieve things. And Tina, we always define discipline as being able to do things that you need to do when they need to be done, whether you feel like it or not. So whatever you want to achieve, you will achieve it. However, you need to do the things that need to be done when they have to be done, whether you feel like it or not. I wanted to become a teacher, right? I did not have enough money by then, right? So if I had to say, mina ngiholi 1.2, what is Zanele saying? You know, mina ngihola 1.2, ngizofunda kanjani? You know, how am I going to be able to pay the fees and stuff? I had to be disciplined in order for me to be where I am. So a motivation out there to the young ones is that you will become whatever you want in life. However, remember, ukuthi discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And sometimes discipline is not nice, you know. It's not nice to be disciplined. Sometimes you feel good to take ice cream, but there are fees that you need to pay, you know. However, if you push on, push on, you will reap what you have sown, right? But see, when the prize is clear, then the prize is easy.
Lovely, lovely. Sure. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And I hope that you are enriched, that you are inspired from the guests that we've had, who have purpose in their calling, and most of all, they have done the work. Now, if you want to support us, drop a comment, subscribe. See you next time.
Bye. Comment.
Thank you.
Bye.
Chaile.